Imagine this: you're sitting at your desk, staring at a spreadsheet, your mind racing with thoughts about a looming deadline, a missed call from a friend, and the nagging fear that you're not doing enough. Your chest tightens, your thoughts spiral, and suddenly, you're hours into the day but nowhere closer to feeling calm. What if there was a way to hit pause on that chaos, to step back and see your life not as a storm of stress, but as a moment you could actually breathe through? That's the power of mindfulness, a simple, ancient practice that's quietly transforming how millions of people handle the noise of modern life. We live in a world that's faster, louder, and more demanding than ever before. Stress isn't just a part of life anymore, it's a constant companion. From the pressure to perform at work to the anxiety of keeping up with social media, our brains are wired to react, not to reflect. But what if you could train your mind to notice when it's spiraling, to step back, and to choose peace instead of panic? That's what mindfulness offers. It's not about emptying your mind or becoming a monk, it's about learning to see your thoughts, feelings, and even your body's reactions without getting swept away by them. And it's not just a feel-good idea. Science is proving that this practice can change your brain, your body, and even your life in ways you might not expect. Let's start with the basics. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present, without judgment. It's not about forcing your mind to be quiet or chasing some unreachable state of calm. Instead, it's about noticing when your thoughts are going off track and gently bringing your attention back to the here and now. Think of it like a lighthouse. When a storm of stress hits, it doesn't stop the waves, but it helps you see where you are. This might sound simple, but it's a radical act in a world that constantly pulls us into the past or future. Studies show that even a few minutes of mindful breathing can shift your brain's activity from the default mode network, the part of your brain that gets stuck in rumination and anxiety, to the areas responsible for focus and emotional control. It's like flipping a switch in your brain that allows you to respond, not react. But how does this actually help with stress? Let's break it down. When you're stressed, your body releases a hormone called cortisol, which is like a fire alarm for your system. It's useful in short bursts, like when you're fleeing from danger, but chronic stress keeps that alarm blaring 24/7. Over time, this can lead to everything from burnout to heart disease. Mindfulness doesn't eliminate stress, but it changes how your brain and body respond to it. A study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that just 10 weeks of mindfulness meditation reduced cortisol levels by 14% in participants. That's not just a number, it's a sign that your body is learning to calm down, even when life doesn't. Here's where it gets even more fascinating: mindfulness doesn't just work on your brain. It works on your body too. Consider the example of someone with chronic pain, like fibromyalgia or irritable bowel syndrome. These conditions are often linked to stress, and the pain can feel relentless. But a program developed at the University of Massachusetts Medical School called MBSR, Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction, has shown that people with these conditions can experience significant relief. How? By training their minds to notice pain without getting consumed by it. Instead of fighting the pain, they learn to observe it, like watching a cloud pass through the sky. This shift in perspective doesn't erase the pain, but it changes how it affects their lives. And it's not just for people with chronic illness. Mindfulness is being adopted in workplaces, schools, and even prisons because it's effective across the board. Take Google, for instance. Their Search Inside Yourself program, which integrates mindfulness into employee training, reported a 50% reduction in stress-related absenteeism. Employees who participated said they felt more focused, creative, and resilient. That's a powerful example of how a practice that once seemed reserved for monks or yoga enthusiasts can now be a tool for innovation and productivity. But here's the thing: mindfulness isn't just about sitting quietly and breathing. It's about bringing awareness into everything you do. That means you can practice it while washing the dishes, walking to work, or even during a meeting. The key is to notice what's happening in the moment: your breath, the texture of the water, the sound of your footsteps. This might seem trivial, but it's a way to anchor yourself when life feels overwhelming. A 2017 survey by the American Psychological Association found that 70% of Americans experience high levels of stress, and 50% of them use mindfulness techniques to manage it. That's not just a statistic, it's a sign that people are finally realizing that the tools they need to survive the chaos of modern life are within their reach. Now, let's talk about something even more surprising: mindfulness can change your brain. Neuroscientists have found that regular practice can actually alter the structure of your brain over time. Areas associated with memory, learning, and emotional regulation become stronger, while the regions that are responsible for stress and fear become thinner. It's like building a muscle, but for your mind. This is called neuroplasticity, and it means that your brain isn't stuck in its current state. With consistency, you can literally rewire yourself to be calmer, more focused, and more resilient. But here's the catch: mindfulness doesn't work if you're doing it half-heartedly. Consistency is the secret sauce. Just like you wouldn't expect to get in shape by working out once a month, mindfulness requires regular practice. A 2020 meta-analysis in psychological medicine found that mindfulness-based stress reduction programs reduced anxiety symptoms by 25% in clinical populations. That's a huge impact, but it only happens when people show up day after day, even for just a few minutes. It's not about perfection, it's about showing up again and again, even when your mind is screaming at you to stop. And let's not forget the accessibility of mindfulness. It doesn't require a guru, a special place, or a lot of money. You don't need a meditation cushion or a fancy app, just your breath and your willingness to notice. That's why it's being embraced by people from all walks of life. From corporate executives to teachers, from parents to prisoners, mindfulness is proving to be a universal tool for stress relief. In fact, 40% of U.S. employers now offer mindfulness or meditation programs as part of their employee wellness initiatives. That's not just a trend, it's a recognition that stress is a global crisis, and mindfulness is one of the few solutions that can scale. But here's the most important thing to remember: mindfulness isn't a magic pill. It's not a quick fix for a broken life. It's a practice, a way of being, and a commitment to yourself. It doesn't eliminate the hard parts of life, but it gives you the tools to face them with more grace and less fear. When you're caught in the chaos of a busy day, mindfulness is your anchor. It's the reminder that you're not your thoughts, that you're not your stress, and that you have the power to choose where your attention goes. So what does this mean for you? It means that right now, in this moment, you have the ability to pause, to breathe, and to see your life not as a storm, but as a series of moments you can actually inhabit. You don't have to be perfect at it. You don't have to be calm all the time. You just have to show up, again and again, with the intention to be present. And in doing so, you'll find that the noise of the world doesn't have to drown you. You can learn to listen to your body, your breath, and the quiet voice inside you that says, "This is enough." Because in the end, mindfulness isn't just about reducing stress. It's about living with more clarity, more peace, and more connection to the world around you. It's about realizing that the present moment, the only moment you actually have, is not a place to escape from, but a place to finally arrive. And when you do, you'll find that the chaos of life doesn't have to define you. You can choose to meet it with curiosity, with kindness, and with the simple, powerful act of being here, now.